Hi, Peter Cutforth here, and in this video today I want to tell you about the fastest way to consistently get the message out there to the world about you, your expertise, your company's products or services, and how you can help other people. Now, this broaches on the area of the fact that your business these days, in order to have a decent profile online, you need to be sharing information and what we would call content about your business, about what it does, and about things that actually help your prospects or your group of, if you like, followers. These are people that see your website, see your blog if you've got one. They read your emails if you have an email broadcast, those types of things. Now, what I'm going to tell you about this morning is probably intermediate level. In other words, if you don't have a website, or you don't really do much in the way of keeping your website or your blog or your newsletter active, then this is actually a really good opportunity to get started. But this is more for people who are really understanding the importance of keeping good content going out to their crowd, their people. And this is a way, because one of the big problems with that is it's so time consuming, isn't it? To sit down and write a blog post or write a newsletter, it's just like, I just find it so hard to make the time to actually do that. Well, here's a way that completely, or pretty well completely, solves that problem. And I'm going to introduce you to a concept of repurposing content. In other words, you take content in one format and you utilize it across multiple different formats. Let me explain. What I'm doing right now with this video, you'll notice that I'm in my mobile video studio, my car. And so I'm driving from one place to another at the moment, and I'm recording this video for you. Now, once I've recorded this video, all I need to do is upload it to my computer and shoot it up to YouTube, and it's already a piece of content without me hardly spending any time. But it doesn't stop there. I can do more things with this video. For instance, I can take the audio out of it, and that becomes what's called a podcast, or an MP3 file, an audio file. Now, podcasting is hugely a huge growth industry right now, and many of the most successful companies, and particularly coaches and thought leaders, if you like, are starting and running podcasts. And that can be a big time commitment to do that, certainly to make a successful one. And at the same time, there are some podcast leaders across the globe that are making huge amounts of money from their podcast, like huge amounts, well in excess of most CEOs' incomes. So it's interesting. The principle, though, is that as easy and engaging as video is, one of the problems with video is that you kind of have to look at it, or most people think you have to look at it. In fact, you don't. If you're watching this now, the chances are you'll be able to get the message that I'm talking about just by listening to it as well. You don't actually have to watch me. In this case, I'm not doing any demonstrations on screen. I'm not really showing you anything. The only benefit from you watching it is that you can see me talking, which you could actually hear that just as well through an audio. So one of the benefits of audios and podcasts is that people can just listen to them on their iPhone or their smartphone, and that's it. They can learn, they can get your message just directly from the audio. Now, the reason why I'm telling you about this right now is that last week there was a new service or product launched called Audello, which is going to completely change the whole audio creation space, if you like, the whole podcasting space, because it's now brought that area of podcasting off the too hard shelf, and it's brought it down to make it within very easy reach of everyone. And for anyone that's familiar with doing that kind of stuff anyway, this just makes it completely a no-brainer. Now let me tell you about how you can use this to, this is why I'm saying this is the best way to consistently let everyone know about your expertise or your company's products or services. The reason is that you can set up this new software on your smartphone. It's actually a free app. You just download it, and you can do what I'm doing right now. You can have it sitting in your car, or as you go for a walk or doing something else. You just hit the big red button on the app, and you start talking. And you can pause it if you lose your way and start again, or you can just pause it and keep going. And when you finish that, you simply press a couple of buttons and it uploads it to one of several podcast services. The easiest one is called SoundCloud, and that enables you to actually embed that audio then into a blog post, and then you can send it out as an email to your list of subscribers or whatever you want to do. So this makes it very, very easy, because you can take time like traveling in a car, going for a walk, or you can do it off your computer. It's got a little button just sits on the top of your computer, and at any time you can just sit down and record a message. It automatically saves it and does all that kind of stuff pretty well automatically. Now it gets better, because I'm going to show you, not in this video but in another one coming up, I'm going to show you how you can actually set up a whole lot of automation rules, or what I call a workflow, so that it ends up like this. You create a podcast or an audio with a little app on your iPhone, and as soon as you finish that up, you just upload it, and that automatically sends it to 1 or 2 or 3 different places. And then we set up these other rules where it automatically creates a blog post for you, and it embeds that podcast, that audio that you've just made, on your blog post automatically without you doing anything. Now you can even take this another step further, and if you do have an email newsletter, depending on what kind of software you're using to run your email newsletter, certainly with MailChimp and some others, you can then set that, you can do this with Aweber as well, you can set that so that it automatically, as soon as a new blog post is posted, it automatically sends out a newsletter to your list, again without you even touching it. Now think about this, it doesn't end with just audio content. We started this little video talking about repurposing content. So once you've got an audio, then you can go to a place called Fiverr.com, and you can get that audio transcribed for $5 or $10 roughly. It's depending on how long it is. Something that's about 10 or 15 minutes long, you can probably get transcribed for $5. So then within a few days, you get the complete transcription of what you've just said. You get that back. So now you can post that again as a blog post. You can put it on the same blog post, if you like, that your audio file has been saved onto, and that gives you a whole lot of content that again goes up onto your blog and your website, keeps your website fresh. Google loves fresh new content. Then you can also cut that up into what we call micro content, or small pieces of content, mix it up maybe with some images and so on, and you've got a series of posts for your social media campaign, whether you do that yourself or whether you have a social media manager that does that for you. That will give you probably 10, 12, even 15 different posts, especially for Twitter. You can just take that, just copy and paste the content from the transcription, and you've got a whole series of worthwhile posts that can then link back to your blog, to your website, to wherever you want, to a video, whatever. And then from there, there's a whole lot of other things you can do. You can turn it into a PDF, and you can, what we call, syndicate that to file sharing directories and like Scribe and places like that, which help to get the message out there and also help with your SEO, because each time you post your content on these different platforms, you usually get some kind of link back to your website. So this is also a highly powerful strategy for SEO and increasing the rankings of your website. So that's a bit of an overview of how you can use this fabulous new software. Now, I've been following podcasting methodologies for about 18 months now, and this is by far the best one, the easiest one I've seen. It's pretty well taking this whole industry by storm, and there is an opportunity now to get this software and put it into your business with the systems and approaches that I've mentioned. I'm going to be providing more detail on how to do that in upcoming videos. But now's the opportunity to grab Audello. So do that from the link below this video, and I can pretty much guarantee you won't look back. It's going to fast track and leverage the way that you develop content and get the word out there about your expertise. All the best with it.